The 13 Strangest Abandoned Places by State. 1. Alabama, the abandoned set of Big Fish. Big Fish is a classic, and definitely holds memories dear to many who've watched it. That's why it's kind of haunting to take in the view of these abandoned sets. They're still excellently preserved, but will eventually be lost to the elements over time. 2. Arkansas, Dinosaur World. This is definitely one of the more fun abandoned places in America. 65 acres of dinosaur and caveman statues are just waiting for you to take a selfie with them in Arkansas. Sure, they may not be as nice as they once were, but there's plenty of room for inappropriate pictures for the creative mind. 3. California, Bodie Ghost Town. The gold rush left tons of mining towns abandoned throughout California. Seeing these old ghost towns is like stepping back in time for a little bit. It's really hard to believe that people inhabited these places less than a century ago. 4. Colorado, Crystal Mill. Mills used to be a huge part of society prior to the Industrial Revolution, and few are preserved at this point. This crystal mill in Colorado, however, has stood the test of time, and still sticks out distinctively among the surrounding landscape. 5. Connecticut, Hearthstone Castle. You'd think this spot was taken right out of medieval England and dropped right into Connecticut. You may be surprised to learn that it was only built in the 1800s, though. It's easily the most unique piece of architecture in the state. 6. Florida, the Dome Houses of Cape Romana. Yes, there are a lot of strange abandoned places in Florida, but none are quite as odd as the random dome houses by Cape Romana. Their origin is a complete mystery to some, but they definitely have some strange architecture. You're not going to find structures like this anywhere else. 7. Idaho, abandoned Bay Horse. The mining boom brought a lot of people towards the mines they worked in, but, after they were no longer profitable, the towns quickly emptied out. Bay Horse is one of those towns, and now the buildings are slowly withering away. 8. Missouri, abandoned Lebanon Railroad. There are plenty of worthy candidates for the strangest abandoned places in Missouri, but these rail lines are just haunting. Now that the leaves are falling, it would be the perfect time to go wandering down these lines. They're both beautiful and mesmerizing at the same time, as they're now overgrown with lush plantation. 9. New York, Bannerman's Island. Ah, nothing like a creepy abandoned castle on some random island to get you in the mood to explore. It used to house military-grade weaponry, and, ironically, the weapons blew up inside the castle, causing part of the castle to collapse. These days, there are tours around the island, and the building is still a sight to behold. 10. South Carolina, Cypress Gardens Ruins. What's that? You say this looks familiar? Well, it just might be. If you're a fan of The Patriot, then you saw this abandoned spot in a scene from the movie. While it was used in the movie, it doesn't see much attention these days aside from the explorers rowing around the marshes. 11. Utah, Flaming House Ruins. The roof is on fire. Just kidding, that's just the crazy way that the rocks have formed over the ruins of this ancient house once used by Native Americans. Obviously no one has lived there for quite some time, but the natural beauty of the place is just breathtaking. 12. Wisconsin, Door County Mushroom House. Yeah. Not so sure about the story behind this one, but it looks like it should be in the Shire rather than in the Wisconsin countryside. Regardless, it took quite a bit of ingenuity to make this house happen, so you have to respect that. Still though, this is pretty weird. 13. Wyoming, the Smith Mansion. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, this mansion is one of a kind, and you'll only find it in Wyoming. The good news is that the locals have an interest in preserving it, so you won't have to worry about it falling in any time soon.